Today, I'm going to break down what happens if the police search your house without a warrant and what you need to do to protect yourself and your rights. I'm David Kiatta with Segura and Kiatta Criminal Defense Lawyers in Sugar Land, Texas. And I'm here to help you understand your rights and protect yourself. And if you get accused of an offense in Texas, we can help you vigorously defend yourself in court. In this video, I'll explain your rights under the Fourth Amendment and what the police can and cannot do during a search of your home, and why it's so important to know what your options are. So first, know what your rights are. Under the Constitution, you're protected from unreasonable searches and seizures. Generally, a search is unreasonable if it is conducted without a search warrant signed by a judge. And there are very few, very narrow exceptions to that warrant requirement. So if an officer shows up at your house and asks for permission to search your house, you have the absolute constitutional God-given right to say no and refuse the request of a police officer to search your home. And you absolutely should refuse to give an officer consent to search your property until you talk to a lawyer first to understand what your rights are and be protected. So what happens if the police search your home without a warrant? Well, generally, that evidence will be excluded and is not admissible in a court proceeding against you. I want to talk about when a search warrant is not required for your home, or what the exceptions are to the warrant requirement. First, if you consent, that means if you voluntarily give permission to the police to search your home, then they do not have to have a warrant. The next is called exigent circumstances. That's where the police have probable cause to search your home, but there's no time to go get a search warrant signed by a judge. Maybe they need to prevent evidence from being destroyed, or there's a safety emergency that they have to investigate to save someone's life. And finally, the plain view exception. Suppose the police come up to your home, knock on the door, ask for permission to search your home, and you tell them no, but they look in the background and they see a kilo of cocaine sitting on the coffee table. That evidence is in plain view, and that gives the officers a reason to go into your house without a search warrant. Even when there's an exception to the search warrant requirement, these exceptions are narrowly tailored and there are specific rules about what can be searched. That's why it's important that you contact an experienced lawyer who knows what your rights are and who knows how to protect you. Even when the police have a search warrant, your lawyer's got to look at that search warrant and examine if it is actually legal and valid. The officers have to specify where they want to search, what they are looking for, and they have to give specific, verifiable reasons why they believe illegal contraband is in your home. And we've seen many times where police officers exceed the authority of a search warrant, and later, a judge rules the evidence inadmissible. So what do you do if the police show up to search your home? First, you stay calm and you don't interfere, but you calmly and clearly say that you do not consent to any searches. And after you refuse that consent to search, you call a criminal defense lawyer immediately. Even if a search occurred, your lawyer can fight the legality of that search and help protect your rights in court. People often worry about looking guilty by refusing consent to a search. And I'm here to tell you, do not worry about that. It is your absolute constitutional right to refuse a search and talk to a lawyer. So if you're facing criminal charges following a search, contact us immediately. We're here to help you navigate the court system, protect your rights, and fight for your freedom and your future. And like and subscribe for more legal tips.